What's up, fellow go-givers? JuJuan Buford broadcast today, actually from one of the suburbs of Detroit, Royal Oak. And what I want to talk about today is how to successfully build your business utilizing social media. So this is a question that I receive very frequently, especially among new entrepreneurs in our ecosystem. And one of the first things people want to know is, look, what content should I post online? What videos should I use, or what brochures, or what this, or what that, or the other. And so I figured, you know what, let me go ahead and just finally answer this question in a real quick, kind of like small plate, right, response to it. And so the first thing I want to share with you is this. I am not a social media guru. I'm not one of those individuals that earns money based on my social media presence per se. So I'm not out here trying to go viral and create the most smacking content the world's ever seen and have 1 million people viewing me and I earn my money based on views. That's not my business model. My business model is very simple. It's just simply posting content that my target market is interested in and pulling them into my ecosystem so I have the opportunity to communicate my value prop and let them make an educated decision. So what am I saying to you indirectly? Once again, if you are looking for a way to go viral and take on 1 million, 1,000, trillion fans, this, that, and the other, this might not be for you, right? But I have over 30,000 followers for a reason on LinkedIn, and I've been able to consistently onboard clients and business partners over the last several years in a very predictable fashion. All right, so let's get into it. Well, actually, let me share this as well. Right, so there are some individuals who are going to ask, well, why social media? Why LinkedIn specifically? That's the thing, you go to coffee shops, got gnats all over the place, it's annoying. But in respect, look, I learned years ago in my entrepreneur journey when I was watching other business owners who were more successful than me and the way they moved and how they spent their time. And something I learned early on is that the most successful entrepreneurs in my space spent well over 30% of their time marketing. And what do I mean by marketing? Well, they were just simply out meeting people. They were networking. They were attending socials and generating new relationships. And so it wasn't lost on me that in order to be successful, in order to scale your business, at some point you have to start utilizing tools, you have to start adopting strategies that simply gets your message out, puts you, because in the beginning you are the brand, right? Gives you the most exposure as possible. And so look, when I jumped on LinkedIn, I was still very much in the stage of my business where I was primarily the operator, right? I was the one still out there making sales. I was the one out there doing most of the sales management. I was quote unquote the closer. Plus on top of that, single parent, growing multiple verticals. And the bottom line is golf outings, bowling, and attending networking events and socials and trying to stay hip to every single thing that was going on in the community. I just didn't have the bandwidth for it. I did not have the space to be at every single social event, right? So I began investing in LinkedIn predominantly for that reason. But the other reason why I did a deep dive into LinkedIn was because of the pandemic. And it was one of the best decisions I ever made because I was like ready early on to begin engaging and understanding people's behavior online via social media before everybody else. And I attribute a lot of that, my success initially, to that. So 30,000 followers again, regular contacts, having earned tens of thousands at this point, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars based on my social media presence. Once again, not from going viral, but for being able to secure clients as a result of my social media presence. All right, so let's get into it. Tip number 1, no billboard material. I do not post sales material anywhere on my social media platforms. And if I do it, excuse me, it is very rare and it is very infrequent. You don't want your social media to look like a billboard. Because if your social media looks like a billboard, aliens are going to abduct your family, friends, and neighbors. Nobody wants to go to social media to see you sell stuff, right? It's called social media for a reason. People are on there because they're interested in being what? Sociable, right? Now, LinkedIn is a little bit different because if you're on LinkedIn, yeah, you're on there to be social, but let's be real. Most people are on LinkedIn for one of three reasons. The first being they're looking for a job. The second being they're looking to hire someone. The third being they're looking for a tool, a connection, a resource, something, information to help them level up professionally or otherwise. So it's a little bit different there. But the bottom line is you don't want your profile to become a billboard, because after a while, people just simply aren't going to be interested in whatever books, nails, clothes, you know what I mean, right? Let me not even go there. So no billboard material, right? So what am I posting and what should you post? Well, before you post anything, you need to identify your target market. You need to identify your buyer or buying avatar. In other words, who are the people who are looking for your solutions? That's number one, right? They may not necessarily know the package that it comes in, but they're looking for the solutions you're offering. Number two, who are the people who can afford your solution, right? They have to have enough disposable income to afford what it is you're marketing. And then third, you want people who make what I call blink decisions, right? Let me touch on the blink decisions piece. It's not you're searching for people who are flippant, who don't think. But look, most of the individuals, I'll say for my buying avatar, right? My buying avatar is typically going to be business owners that have been around for about 3 to 4 years or longer, and they've reached a point where they're ready to scale, right? They want to go from a team of me to a team of we. They're ready to grow. They're ready to have more, go further, go harder. This is so annoying. Go further, go harder. They want to start onboarding talent. They want to start onboarding personnel. They want to go from a 6-figure to a 7-figure plus business. And they realize that there are certain tools and strategies they need to have in place to make that happen. So number one, they need to have identified their target market. They need to know how to attract their target market. They need to have sales processes and business development processes in place. They need to have a process for attracting the right talent, onboarding the right talent, retaining the right talent, and quite frankly, a process for seeing the wrong talent out the door, right? That's my target market. So before I post anything, I want to make sure that people who fit that description, who fit that buying avatar, right? And I can do a deeper dive if I wanted to than that. The people who fit that description, I make sure the content I post reflects that, right? You want to do the exact same thing. And 9 times out of 10, if you're an entrepreneur who's made a decision that you want to grow, that you want to scale, you want to go further, farther, right? You already have an agenda. You already know what's good. So people who make blink decisions already know what's good. So that's why they can look at something and blink and say no, or blink and say yes, because they know whether or not it fits their agenda. So that's what I mean by that. You want people who make blink decisions. You don't want people who wait around till the tail light is dragging on the ground, the engine light's been on for 50 million years, right? The engine light's on in their life. And, the spark plugs are misfiring and the car is about to catch on fire. Because, people walk around like that in their life and in their business. You want to avoid those people. So that's what I mean when I say people make blink decisions, right? And then the next tip I would give for you, once you've identified that buying avatar, the people that you want to work with and who want to work with you, you want to write down 50 topics, 50 subjects, 50 resources, 50 tools that would catch their interest, that would solve their problems, that would be the thing they've been praying for. You want to post content, even if it's other people's content sometimes, that addresses those issues. Because once you begin to do that, and people in your ecosystem look at your content and they realize you're the SME, you're the subject matter expert regarding the issues and challenges they need addressed. Once they find out you're the solutions provider, then you're going to gain more traction. People are going to be more inclined to trust you. And if people trust you, they like you, they feel like they know you, they're going to be more inclined to do business with you. And that's what this is ultimately all about. So often people are posting BS.com on their profile trying to sell stuff. That's not what you use social media for. Social media is best used for individuals who are looking to create feelings of I like you, I know you, I trust you. And the business owners that are, or the corporations to be more exact, that are winning by posting sales content on social media Understand, they're not posting 1,000 pieces. They're not posting 10,000 times. They're not posting even just 100 times. They're posting 300, 500, sometimes 1,000,000 pieces of advertisement on a weekly and monthly basis. And if you don't have the bandwidth to create that amount of content, if you don't have the bandwidth to pay to be able to air that type of content, chances are, you don't want to try to build your business that way. I'm just being real with you, right? You need to understand how the game is played. So in any respect, go ahead and write down the 50 topics of interest, and then you post content around those things, right? The next thing you want to understand is that your LinkedIn profile in particular, but I would argue your other social media profiles as well, you want to treat them as landing pages. Yeah. You want to look at your LinkedIn page as a landing page. So often I see entrepreneurs posting their resume and like posting and position themselves as if they're looking for a job. No, that's not what you want to do. Like, look, most business owners and most entrepreneurs or most people who are seeking your services, I'm going to tell you right now, they don't care how the sausage is made. They don't care. They just want the sausage, right? So what people are looking for is impact. They're looking for signs that you are effective at what you do. We don't care how long you've been working on the job. We don't care the nature of the division of the company you worked for and what your title was. That doesn't mean anything in the entrepreneurial world. We want to know, what's your impact? How'd you increase somebody's sales? How'd you increase somebody's bottom line? What achievements do you have? What things have you actually accomplished? What are the things that you've built? Right? Where are your testimonies at? Where's your receipts to show that you have touched people, and after you've touched them, they've come out the other end? And this crazy social media and content, that sounds pretty weird, right? Wow. Anyway, they want to know that you've engaged someone, right? You have helped someone, and then they came out the other end better for it, right? That's what they're looking for. So you want to look at your social media presence, particularly LinkedIn page, with that in mind. Is there evidence of accomplishment? Is there evidence that other people are speaking well of you? Is there third-party evidence of your success and your impact? All right. And then, of course, you want to make sure that in your byline and your headlines and your description that you are telling a story that lets people know the type of problems you solve, the type of solutions you provide, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All right. I'm done with that. Next. In my industry, in most of the products that I market and sell, and most of the services that I offer, it's pull products as opposed to push products. What's a push product? And I'm not trying to be flippant here, but I'm kind of am at the same time. Nike visors. Okay, you're selling a cannabis product. You're selling Hennessy. Okay, you're selling a party or something. That's a push product. People don't need to be educated about it. They know what it is. You just push it out there, and people who have an appetite for it buy it. Pull products are different. Insurance products are pull products. Most B2B products, most SaaS solution products are pull products. Business services and business consultation services are pull products. In other words, you need to pull people into your ecosystem. And most people don't realize it, but particularly in the B2B space, in the business solution space, almost every product that you can sell, unless it's hardware, is going to be a pull product. And that's where people make an error in judgment. But even with push products, because there's so much competition, there's so many people out there doing the same thing you're doing, you almost have to adopt the same attitude as well. And when you have a pull product, the name of the game is not selling someone something online. The name of the game is engaging those individuals, developing rapport with them, and acquiring their contact information so you can pull them into your ecosystem and then at some point present to them multiple times. That's the game that you're playing, right? And so with me, most of the content that I post, even this video, is just simply designed for me to take this content, put it on a YouTube, maybe put it on Instagram, put snippets of it on TikTok, et cetera, right? Put it in my Substack and let the content matriculate so people are aware that I exist. That's number one. Then the next goal, after people are aware that I exist, and they start to like, know, and trust me because I'm showing up consistently and I've proven that I know what I'm talking about and I have receipts, then the next step is, okay, compliment them. So if you and I meet each other on LinkedIn and I notice you're looking at my content, or if you show up in my DM commenting on what it is I've posted, I'm going to greet you just like I would at a coffee shop, or just like I would at a carnival, or just like I would at a park. I'm not going to just start throwing up on you about what it is that I sell. I'm going to ask you, hey, what's your name? What motivated you to come in today? What do you do for a living? What's the nature of your business? What's most important to you? What are you looking to accomplish? What are you taking aim at? What matters most to you in terms of your career? What matters most to you professionally, right? Because I'm in the B2B space, those are the type of questions I'm asking, right? I'm going to look at a person's profile, and I'm going to look at their background. I'm going to look at things they've accomplished, and I'm going to compliment them. I'm going to compliment them. I'm going to do all these different things before I even let them know exactly what it is that I do. So I'm very complimentary. I'm very inquisitive. I want them to know that I'm not trying to be interesting. I'm trying to be interested, right? What matters to you matters to me. And if you're not interested in buying something from me, it's okay. I'm just looking to develop the relationship anyway. See where I'm going with this? Because once people like, know, and trust you, it's kind of like called permission marketing, right? I'm going to get their permission to share information with them, or to schedule an appointment with them, or to share a survey with them. But all of those things are designed to do one thing: get their contact information. Because if you don't have their phone number, if you don't have their email, let's face it, people are very flippant on social media. So you think you're developing a rapport and a relationship with someone, they could lose their profile, you could lose your profile, because you don't own the real estate there, by the way. And like I said before, there's a million people interacting with a million people on social media. It's very tough to develop a real rapport with individuals, especially if you are, once again, marketing what I call a pull product. So the goal is to get their contact information and invite them to one of those things, right? Fill out a survey, participate in a webinar, get them to schedule an appointment with you. That way you can actually present to them, and then you have their contact information, and then you can ask them for permission to do what? Share what it is that you do. And once you receive that permission, you can share it with them multiple times, which means you have multiple at-bats to share your services, your products, and to let them know that you are the person to help solve their problems, right? And then last but not least, you want to be able to contact these individuals because you want to eventually acquire referrals from them. Because not only do people do business with folks whom they like, know, and trust, they refer business people whom they like, know, and trust. Nothing makes me more excited than waking up and I don't have to go out in the marketplace and try to find people. I don't have to spend money on marketing and branding. I don't have to use my mental energies to figure out how I'm going to find my next client. But instead, I'm getting phone calls and emails from people referring people to me. That's what you want, right? So if you have their information, you can drip on them periodically. You can reach out to them periodically. You can be inquisitive about their business, about their goals, whatever the case may be. And in doing so, you develop that rapport. They like, know, and trust you. And you can eventually ask for referrals. Even if they say no, I'm not interested, they may know of other people who will not say no, right? And so what you ultimately want is what Tim Ferriss calls, I think he has a book out there, Tools of Titans. I think he says get 3,000 fans. I really believe in social media world, if you have about 1,000 fans, people who are just checking for you, like, know, and trust you, you're crushing it. So look, those are the tips that I would share, right? If you really want to be serious about building your business in the long term, not be a fad or a gimmick and make a couple bucks and then fade off and we don't hear from you again because aliens abduct you because you were too nonchalant about your business, and so your business pays you nonchalantly and then you caught that L, right? So do I have scripts? Of course I do. Can I do a deeper dive on this topic? Of course I can. If you desire more, you want me to do a more in-depth talk about how to crush it on LinkedIn in particular and acquire more clients, like, share, comment, let the algorithm know this content was valuable and worthwhile. And that also lets me know that you're serious about wanting me to do a deeper dive on this topic. As always, I celebrate success in advance. Sharing is caring. So once again, remember to share. And I will see you over at the top. See you over the top. Goodbye for now.